out of 10,
Yes.
we both say at the same time, what would you give Lucifer to? 3, 2, 1, 10. wait. Whoa, 6, yeah?
Yes.
Just quickly, like, why 6?
I think I didn't want to compare it to Lucifer 1, but unfortunately I did. And waiting 6 years for the sequel, I could not deal with what happened. And I wanted to love it so bad. I was hyped. I marked on my calendar March 27th, like Empuraan comes out, and it just disappointed me.
Oh no, I loved it. I feel like my expectation maybe was not like yours because I've only saw
You
the
only
first
watched
one.
it last week.
Yeah, like last week, the week before. So I was coming out fresh from it, and like, yeah, I mean, I loved it. Like, we'll dive in, but
Yes.
first, like, let's just quickly go over like what happened in the first one. So like,
Yes.
people that want to go and watch it, like, you don't really need to watch the first one before. So at the beginning, right, we have the funeral scene of, is it PK? Yeah, PKR.
Yes.
Ramdas,
Yes.
was it the minister, right, of Kerala?
No, I think he was the party leader
of
Oh, don't quote me, of
IUF.
IUF.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then we see his funeral, and then we're introduced to his daughter Prithviraj, who's played by
Yes.
Manju Warrior.
Yes.
And there was this whole thing, right, about like, make sure he does not
He
turn
does-
up to
yeah,
the funeral.
yeah.
And who are they talking about?
Mohanlal.
Yes, aka Stephen. And yeah, and then also, as well as that, we know that they have one younger brother,
Yes.
Jatin Ramdas, who's played by Tovino Thomas,
Tovino
right?
Thomas.
And then we also know that Priyadashini's got a husband called Bobby, and and Priyadashini has a daughter. And what goes on between the three of them is a bit messed up. Do you want to explain?
So pretty much, I think Janvi, who I think Sanya Ayyappan is Manju Warrior's daughter, was obviously from her previous marriage, and then she married Bimal. His name is Bimal Nair, actually, but they just call him Bobby. And he is just doing very, very disgusting things to his stepdaughter.
Yeah, and he's like got her drugs and stuff, and he basically wanted to take over the party, right?
Yes.
And that's when they wanted to get like the other son, Jatin Ramdas, in, but Stephen was like the one to kind of stop it all, basically.
Yeah.
And so that's what pretty much happens in the first film. And then at the end of the first film, we turn out Stephen is not really Stephen. He's Abraham Qureshi, right?
Yes.
He's a Qureshi Abraham.
Yes, but allegedly PKR's son.
Yeah, as well. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that's another one.
Yeah, that's a huge thing.
They didn't really say it, but then it was just like the body language
Yes.
in that scene as well. And yeah, he was also known as Lucifer. So that's what happened in the first one. Now, the first one was really good, right?
Amazing.
And in the second one, we'll go with like no spoilers for now, but I think where do you think the story goes? Like, how would you describe it?
So waiting for Lucifer 2, so Empuraan, I can't speak for everyone, but a lot of the people that I spoke to thought that it was going to be Stephen's backstory. Like, obviously, since he got revealed as Qureshi Abram, like, we wanted to know, how did he become Qureshi Abram? Like, is he actually Stephen? Like, all of that. So I went into the second movie thinking that it was going to be the backstory, but instead we just got a full-fledged Qureshi Abram backstory. I don't know if that's a spoiler. I don't think it is. But we just got a full Qureshi Abram, like who he is, and just like an introduction to that character.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I think that's what I was a little bit disappointed in. But yeah.
Yeah, because in the second one, like, basically it's more based, like, the story's really based on Zayeb, right? Because we get the flashback at the beginning where we learn about Zayed's past.
You didn't mention that in your Lucifer 1 recap. Zayed's a pretty, like...
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's another character you need to look out for. So Zayed is basically Lucifer's right-hand man, right?
Yes.
Like, he looks up to him like a brother, basically. And I would say the second one's based on him. Like, basically, they show his past, and they don't really tackle it a lot in the film, but we know that he really does want to get revenge, right?
Yeah.
And we see how Lucifer meets him and all of that. And then other than that, I'm just trying to think what else is there to say without spoiling it for now.
I think it's about... Because in the end of Lucifer 1, obviously, Tovino takes over
Yes. Oh, yeah.
IUF. So I think this movie really just tackles how he's doing as the new head of IUF, amongst other roles.
Yes.
But just like the repercussions of that, really.
Yeah, him coming in and how he's kind of like changed in that sense. But like, what did you think of the story in general? Did you think the film had a story, or was it lacking? Or
What story?
wow, wait, are you saying that there was no story? Yeah.
No, there was, but I feel like I said, if you're comparing it to Lucifer 1, Lucifer 1 had like it was very structured, and I think it was written very well, which is something that I thought Lucifer 2, so Empuraan, lacked a little bit. I just thought it was a lot of, I think the first half of it was a lot of like world building. So it was just like they were setting the scene.
Yeah.
And you can't necessarily have like a story in that like world building part, because obviously like we all need to be caught up, because it's revealed and in the beginning of Empuraan that Stephen's been gone from Kerala for like 5 years. So it's like what's been happening in that time, pretty much.
Because there's a lot of countries involved, right? There was London, Senegal. Is it Senegal?
Senegal, Guinea, Yemen,
Turkey or something. So like
New York, I think.
So like there was a whole thing like, so he was missing and stuff. But I don't know, because I think some of the reviews, right, have been like mentioning it, how about like, you know, the story kind of lacks. But maybe I didn't look at it like that. But I thought it did have a story, because I would say that like Lucifer 2 was based more on Zayev's story. I mean, not through the whole movie, but I'd say the beginning and the end was definitely about his backstory and like what he kind of got from the end of it. And then, as you mentioned, the Jatin Ramdas thing as well.
Yeah.
But is there anything you liked about the whole film overall?
The thing is, like, it did not seem like a Malayalam movie at all, in the sense that the way that it was shot, like the cinematography, a lot of money's been gone into it, and you can see like the VFX is insane, the fight scenes are so well choreographed, background music is amazing, but it's just like it just lacked that like nuance and that like magic that I think that Lucifer 1 had, which was what was like the most disappointing part. But there was so many good things about it. Mohanlal was amazing, as per usual. Manju Warrier was what really surprised me. Like,
bruh, you know what? Not gonna lie. There's two moments I clapped for the film.
Yes.
One of them was when she turned up, put the orange spoiler. There's a scene where she puts the sari on, and it's in the flag, like the India flag colors, right? And like you just look at her and you're like, there's like this certain aura that she put like fulfilled basically, and it was like, I was clapping for that. Like,
I was clapping.
Yeah.
It was when she did this with the handcuffs.
Oh,
on.
the hand. See, that was a little reference, but she did so well in the
good.
Like
so good. I feel like out of everyone, she was Mohanlal as well, but Mohanlal aside, because we gotta talk about Mohanlal aside. But Manju Warrier was the most memorable person in the movie. Like, she was so good. Even just like the little scenes where like she's walking up to the stage and stuff. Just the way she like carries herself, she like exuded that sort of, I don't know, like
star power. Like, that's what I was like saying. The aura that she had when she walked in, and you're right. When she was like, spoiler, handcuff me. Then like
so good.
She just killed it. Like from I haven't seen too much of her work, but I know like from what I've like, I think she was with Rajinikanth in Vetan, and I think she was pretty good in that. Like, she's a good actress, and even in the first one, like. She was all right, but this one she came out the syllabus for. Like, I was clapping.
You know what's crazy though? Like, Manju Warrier is actually like a veteran in Malayalam cinema. Like, she, I think, maybe late 80s, all throughout the 90s, up until she got married, was absolutely just killing it. And then she got married and she stopped acting. So it was only like very recently that she's come up again.
Yeah.
But like, you can tell that she's got just like years and years and years of experience, and you can tell in the way that she like does it all. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, because even like the way she carried herself, like, I'm just trying to think, like, obviously we've seen the men do it in Indian cinema, like Rajni, like, you name it, but from a woman point of view, it's crazy.
It's mental.
I don't think I've seen someone carry themselves like that from a woman's standpoint. Like, do you think?
No, not in like, I don't know if I'm gonna get hate for this, but not in Malayalam cinema. Like, as someone that was like from back in the day, and she still has that, like she's still, I know like all these actors and stuff have been there since then. No one's taken a break and come back, but she's like taken a massive break, but she's still got all the talent, like everything that she had when she first started.
Yeah, and do you think there's any other like standout performances from this film? I mean, we had the icon like the Lungi Mohanlal scene,
God, yes.
and in the cinema it was mental. As soon as he did that, the guy next to me was screaming. We were all screaming.
Yeah.
Like during the second half, that was mental.
Because Mohanlal's got a lot of, I don't know if this is a spoiler, he's got a lot of different entry scenes in the movie, but that one was the best one. That was like full goosebumps moment. And I'm someone that absolutely, I like action movies when there's only like a little bit of it, and this movie was full action. But that scene, I was like watching, I was on the edge of my seat. Like they just did it so well. Like the entire vibe of it was, and the background music.
Yeah,
was really
the background music overall in general, like it had this big time feel. Like it made the film look even bigger. And you're right about the jungle scene, because as soon as we saw that red dot, then you knew like something was gonna happen. And even when Prithviraj entered, right, Zayed, that was another time I clapped. Yeah. I was clapping because we didn't see him throughout the whole first half. It was only when he went down.
Like Mohanlal, like his entry was like an hour in.
Yeah, the first half an hour was the backstory and like on Jatin Ramdas and stuff, and then after, those two entries and Manju Warrior, they were like, everyone was just like, damn, like those were the really good moments, and that's where I think the film works, because like there were a lot of big moments in the film itself, and for me they all delivered. It was not like they didn't fail to deliver or it was bland or anything. They were like really big moments, but they were able like to pull it off, you know, like whether it's the end or, you know, like all the references, because there was quite a few references to the first one as well, wasn't there?
There actually was. And then I think it was, because there's a Mohanlal movie called Sagar alias Jackie, and in that, one of the lines that he says is "See you in hell," and that I don't know why I thought that was a Lucifer 1 reference, but then like I was thinking about it yesterday and I was like, oh my god, that's actually like a Sagar alias Jackie reference. I think they sprinkled a few like Mohanlal references like here or there. Which obviously when it's someone as big as Mohanlal, you're gonna have to. You might accidentally do it without even realizing.
Yeah, people go crazy because, like, as we mentioned, the handcuffing was a tie-in to the first one.
Yes.
And at the end, during the fight scene, when he kicks the guy, when he holds the guy by the foot on the throat, was
so good.
And they both do it. It's not even that Mohanlal does it. They both actually do it, which was kind of cool as well.
But you know, I heard like that scene copped a lot of flack because they were like that entire fight scene at the end.
Yeah.
Because they were just like, it just seems so like choreographed and orchestrated. But I was like, no, it like added to it, like, because it shows that Zayed and like Qureshi Abram is like in sync. Like that was what that entire thing showed me.
Because they have that like brotherhood relationship anyways. But I didn't think the end scene was that bad. Like it was quite good from
I thought it was really good.
What I saw. But I think not, because my score was 10 out of 10. But I think, I don't know where this film could have been better. Maybe they I know I said 10, but I think maybe if they maybe put some more, made it better, it could have gone even higher than like 10 out of 10.
Oh,
like,
100%.
You know, like even with the villain aspect, what did you think of that? Because it kind of, I don't think we were expecting what we got to be who like the villain was throughout the film. Do you think?
I think Vivek Oberoi did such a good job with Bobby. Like I thought he was a really good villain. But what I think with this one is, we all hated Bobby from the beginning. Yeah. Like as soon as Bobby was introduced to like the entire like Lucifer world, we all hated him. In this one, obviously, it's Baba Bajrangi for now, but I don't know if that's going to get changed tomorrow because they're re-releasing it. But I felt like we were force-fed to sort of hate him. Like, you know, do you get what I mean? Like that first scene where they just showed every little thing, so that they were like, you have to hate this guy. You have to hate this guy. But I thought Bobby didn't need that. Like, you immediately just hated Bobby. I don't know if that was just me. Like, what did you think?
With Bobby, I don't know. But I mean, it was his actions that were like, you know, that he was like bad and stuff. I don't know. Because with the whole film, like the second one, Baba Bajrangi turns up right at the start, right? Yeah. And then So when Jatin Ramdas is doing his speech now, let's go into that bit.
Yes, yeah.
He wasn't the only villain, right? Baba Bajrangi.
Dude, this is like full spoilers.
Yeah, now we'll dive into it.
Stop watching if you haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, we can like you go back and watch the beginning of this, but or you can fast forward. But yeah, this will all be like spoiler talk. Now.
Yeah.
But as we said, Baba Bajrangi, turned up, and then it got to the point where Jatin Ramdas was doing his speech, and he was like, "There's gonna be no IUF now. Yeah. It's gonna be a joint party." And then, as soon as he mentions that name, Baba Bajrangi, you just knew that you little shit.
Yeah, it was that guy.
and then that's the thing, because as soon as you saw that, it was gonna be like Prithviraj character Zayab, like, what is he gonna do? Yeah. Like, if he finds that out, it was gonna be like, what? That was mental, kind of, because I don't think no one expected Jatin to turn out the way he did. Like, because even in the first one, the whole thing was, I don't want to do it, right?
Yeah,
he wasn't, and I think he only did it because of Stephen, right?
Yeah.
Because Stephen was the one that really got him in.
Yeah.
And like playing the cards.
Yeah.
But then he just turned out to be such a...
No, that's the thing, though, because in Lucifer 1, you're right, because it was because of Stephen that he actually ended up taking charge of IUF. But obviously it's revealed that Stephen's been gone for 5 years. So I think it starts to show Jatin's true real colors, side, really. But that's another thing, like, I thought that was kind of weak. Like, that entire storyline. Like, the fact that he completely turned his back on, like, Priyadarshini and Stephen and, like, his dad, pretty much. And I think they say that in this one, he was like, there's only 2 types of people that don't show up at their own dad's funeral. One where the son hates the dad, or one where the dad hates the son. Yeah, and this was both. So it's like, what actually happened?
Yeah, we don't really know between, because obviously he got sent to America, right? But
yes, yeah.
They didn't really. I guess you're right on that. They didn't really kind of flesh that.
Because it's sort of, yes. There's in this movie there is like Zayed's revenge against like Baba Bajrangi, pretty much, but they don't. It also seems like what Jatin's doing is like in revenge, like as in it's like trying to get back at PKR, but we don't know why.
What he did.
Because you could say that it's because PKR obviously brought Stephen into the house, but Lucifer 1 ended with Jatin and Stephen being like brothers.
Yeah, they were all all 3 of them were.
Yeah. So what changed? Like,
maybe he just went and we got, because we didn't know what he was doing in America, like how he was when he went to America, and like maybe why he got sent there. Like he was just maybe
troubled.
Yeah, or like I don't, and maybe because that's what they showed in the first one, right? They acknowledged the fact why Priyadarshini didn't like Stephen, because it's always about Stephen, always about Stephen. So maybe that's what it could, but we just never saw it because, But, like, other than that, I'm just like, how... Because then we also got... That was another big thing, the God axis, right?
Yes, yeah.
Which was later revealed to us. And, like, Jatin Ramdas, I mean, it was an alright character, but, like, it's short-lived now, isn't it?
It is.
Guys, it's short-lived. We will talk about that later on, but... And that was another thing about Lucifer. When when Lucifer or Stephen, same person, goes to see Priyadarshini, it's in the traditional Stephen clothes.
Yes.
But when he sees Jatin, it's in that like evil Lucifer side. So it's like that contrast I felt was kind of cool. It's just to show that for you, because maybe you're a good person, I love you. This is who I'll be for you, but then for you, because of what you've done, this is how I'm gonna be to you. Like I felt like that was actually kind of a good.
You know what's interesting about what you said,
thing.
Because when he's wearing like obviously like his Qureshi Abram side, he always refers to himself as Lucifer. Like even when he's speaking to Govardhan, he's like, I've been called a lot of names, but the one name that I really like is Lucifer. But when he goes and meets the priest. When he's back in Nedumurli and he goes to the church and he meets the priest, he doesn't call himself Lucifer. He actually calls himself like a Karta Malaga, which is like a black angel, right? So it's like, is he Lucifer? Like, is his Qureshi Abram side the Lucifer? Or is Stephen that as well? Because we actually don't know.
And that's the thing, because not everyone knows who he really is. Yeah. That's another thing that I guess... Do you think they'll save?
Oh wait, spoiler.
Yeah.
why did he reveal himself?
Oh, at the end. Yeah, but
no, not at the end.
Oh, in the intermission.
When he goes and sees Kabuga.
Yeah, but that was because they were gonna fake his death. So remember that whole thing before the intermission? That's why he looked at the the camera.
That cold, by the way.
That was just like this.
Scene.
Like, he knew what he was doing.
He did, yeah.
He looked at the camera and then they showed that the church blew up, right?
Yeah.
And that he died. And then, but see, because I think he just set that whole thing up. But then at the same time, did he know saying that because he goes back to India right after that?
Yeah.
Because what happened was how we were talking about Jatin Ramdas.
Yeah.
Started a new party. Priyadarshini was going to be part of IUF.
Yes.
And then she had 5 conditions, right? Or four conditions?
4 conditions.
4 conditions. One of them was to be straight at the top and stuff like that. And
that scene was also really good. There was that empty seat where she always sat in, and she just walks straight past it and sits at the head of the table.
She just went straight. Did she not?
She walked past the seat that she's assigned because she's a member of the party, right? So she walked past that and she just sat at the head of the table, showing that she was like the new leader.
She was ready for the power. But then this is the thing. So they jumped to India after he died. But then did he know then how Jatin was going to be in that sense? Because why would you fake your death and go back to help your sister? Not because how would you know? Because
I think that's the whole thing. They were just like, a friend of mine told me, he was like, though Stephen or Qureshi Abram is not in every scene of the movie, every scene is about him, right? Every scene is like you're sort of like finding out bits and pieces of who he is as a person. And one of those things is that like he knows everything. He sees everything. Like even the MI6, what like the intelligence?
Boris.
Boris knew that he was like Abram sees everything.
Yeah.
So I think he knew that was going to happen. But in terms of the church blowing up, right, and he leaves the ring behind, he was seen with the ring in the next scene. So
how many rings
does he have? Like, I do need to know that.
Yeah, because that means he must have known and that Jatin was bad from the start, kind of thing. But then, to be fair, he might have seen the speech. Like, we don't know. Like, when Jatin announced it, and then that's probably because they know the time frame. I guess they didn't really explain. Like, he was missing.
They did jump timelines a little bit.
So maybe maybe I don't know. I'm just trying to think. But when that thing blew up, maybe it was just after the whole speech thing in the storyline time frame. Because why would he want to kill himself?
Exactly.
Like maybe he found out.
But he knew that because he told Govardhan when they drugged him and took him to New York. When he was like people are taking advantage of you, which they are, because Tovino was obviously friends with this Karthik guy. Karthik was feeding whatever Govardhan was asking him, letting him know, like, hey, people are onto you, like that sort of thing. But he told Govardhan, he's like, I'm going to use you.
Yeah.
So I think, like, that's exactly when it happened. Govardhan is the one that calls everyone and lets them know that Stephen's actually...
Like, wherever he is. And, like, the whole... Because he was trying to still find out if Lucifer and Stephen was the same person.
Yes.
I think there was that doubt. Because then only until he sees the ring...
is when he realizes,
Wow. But in terms of, like, what's, like, next for Lucifer 3, I mean, let's go through, like, the ending. Because we know that Sahib got his revenge.
Yes.
Bajrangi's dead. And then it takes us to, like, I guess, like, a deserted, ship? Like, is it like a deserted ship where the, like, was it on, like,
it was an oil rig. In the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, and then we see that Qureshi Abraham. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say when he's wearing the munda, he's Stephen.
Oh yeah.
And when he's wearing his other stuff, he's Qureshi.
So because that's that's what they did quite well. Like you couldn't really say that they are the same person. So which was kind of like it's clever.
Yeah.
Like there's not really a similarity, or they might address that. Do you know what? They are actually the same person. No one just knows.
But even in terms of like the fighting, I don't know if it's because he's wearing the munda, but there's a certain level of like aura that Stephen has, like especially in that jungle scene.
Yeah, it's just like
it's like a different level. And then obviously when he's as Qureshi, I feel like the actual action that he's doing is just a little bit more like I don't know, like refined, but this is like he's born for this. Like he's not like putting on an act sort of thing, like in terms of the jungle scene and like
that's
all
who
of that.
maybe he actually
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
But actually, coming back to that, actually, before we talk about
Yeah.
like the third part, maybe this will tie into the third
Yeah.
part. But we know Priyadarshini is gonna fight for the position,
Yes.
and she probably will get it after what happened. But then, do you think now that he's there with her, kind of half and half, that he might get a seat alongside her? Like, do you think how he was to his father, like the right hand kind? Do you think he might be like that to her?
I don't think he wants to.
No.
I think he's very comfortable being in the back seat of things. I'm sure like he's going to in the case that Priyadarshini does get it, I'm sure that he's going to be always there, always backing her, because even at the end of the fight scene, he's the one that says, "Go to your dad's room. Like there's going to be 2 books. I'm going to coach you on the entire thing." So he's sort of like a godfather / brother to her, and I think he's happy remaining as that.
He's always kind of watching her.
Yeah.
Because now, so as we were saying, they're all on an oil rig, right?
Yeah.
So at the end, Jatin Ramdas gets caught, right, by Lucifer.
Yeah.
And then Lucifer, along there's Zayeb and there's a few other guys, right?
Yeah.
Get a phone call, and we see Jatin Ramdas get on a helicopter.
Yes.
And then he gets a phone call, right, by is it God Axis, right? The God Axis.
Shen Triad.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
it.
is that God Axis?
I think it's the same kind of thing,
okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Because Lucifer's is the Nexus, right? Kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
the KA next.
So yeah, KA Nexus, and then you've got like the Shen tribe, God Axis. So they get a call from the leader of the Shen tribe, and then he calls them, and he's like, he says something, and it's like a brother for a brother, because what happened beforehand? Is it Gabriel? What was the guy's name? The guy that had a meeting with Lucifer just before intermission. Was it Gabriel or Abraham?
Oh, Kabuga.
That's it. So worked alongside the Shen tribe, and then the guy was like a brother for a brother, and all we see is the helicopter that Jatin Ramdas is in blow up.
Yeah.
And also there's, I think, another key visual, because Lucifer also looks at Zayeb when the Shen tribe basically says a brother for a brother, because also Boris dies as well. So there was a lot happening.
A lot of people
died right at the end. So I don't know, because I'm just trying to think. First of all, okay, we know that Jatin Ramdas is dead. So power, unless they get a new politician, someone's going to have to step up from their party to take over, which we don't know who that will be.
Oh, but because... Oh, yeah. I don't think we mentioned this. So Jatin actually starts a new party.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
And so that's IUF PKR.
Yeah, that's it.
And then there's IUF. Yeah, so who's going to take... But I think that's what... Because they introduced Suraj Venyaramudu. I don't know, I forgot his name in the movie, but he is... You know how Baba Bajrangi is part of one party, Gujarat, and then he's got his Kerala chapter, like that's Suraj. So he is the one that's sort of working alongside Jatin as well. So I'm guessing in the third movie, if they do go down that like political landscape route, it might be him that takes over.
Yeah, unless there's a new character. And we do get the face of the guy from the Shen tribe.
Yeah, can I just say that actually upset me, because...
Why?
For all the promotions for Empuraan, they had this one guy with his back faced, and he had like a dragon on his coat, and that was a lot of the promotions. And I'm always on Reddit, so everyone's like trying to guess, like
Fafa. Fafa was, but I think someone asked Prithviraj that, and he literally shut it down and was like, it was not Fafa.
No, people were thinking it was Mammootty, and the thing is, Prithviraj is taking the piss, because he was like responding to some of the comments, and he was like, oh, like, and then everyone was thinking like this guy in this dragon suit is going to be Fafa, Vijay, Mammootty, like all of these people. Turned out to be none of them. And the fact, I think it was Rick Yoon, or I think that's his name of the actor. He was just in that one scene at the very end. I was like, how are you about to build up all of this hype for it to be like the smallest character in the movie?
You know, when the credits rolled out, obviously we got the leader of the Shen tribe, and he was like, "We want to learn more." And then just just when the credits roll, we got the song, right? But it wasn't he wasn't saying Empuraan or Lucifer. He was saying
Azrael,
which was his name, right?
it could be.
Because who were they referring to as Azrael?
I don't know.
It must be the Shen tribe. I'm just trying to think.
So I think it's gonna be it's gonna be Lucifer, Empuraan, Azrael.
Do you think?
I think that
there's another name.
But then they did say it was L3 the beginning, but like the whole theme song for Empuraan was the Empuraan song, right? So I don't know, like they just completely changed that. So it could be him, you know.
And obviously, I think was it before that we got the Shen tribe leader wanted to find out more about his past.
Yeah.
Like Lucifer's past. So we got a little flashback as well.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, what did you think of that flashback? It was just a fight scene, right?
That's what I was expecting Empuraan to be. Like, obviously, we need to know what happened between the time that PKR obviously, like, brought him home to how he became to be Stephen. I need to know what happened in those, like, 20 years. So I think that also they do mention, I don't remember clearly, but and I think I was telling you this before, you don't know this, but like Anthony Perumbavoor, he's the one that like comes as like Rauter. So I think like he's also seen to be as someone that is like coaching Stephen when he was younger in like Bombay. I think that was what it was. So I think that's going to be like a big thing in the next one. Like it's going to be how I liked it. I liked that last scene.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was his son actually playing him.
Who? What, the kid?
Yeah, no, not the because he you know there's a scene that's like a silhouette and he's wearing bell bottom pants.
Yeah,
and he says Vada.
The little kid, but who was the actor?
I think it might have been his son.
Who, Mohanlal?
Mohanlal's son.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
if they
I mean,
that.
that's what my mother-in-law said. Like, she said it looked like him, and I was like, oh, actually, it could be. But I'm not sure. It would be good if it was him because, like, he's actually decent.
Kind of fills the role.
Yeah.
But so I reckon. Do you think that's what Lucifer 3 is gonna be like? Do you think the third one's just gonna focus all on the flashback, or are they gonna tie it in? Maybe majority of it is a flashback, but then somehow tie it into what happened in the second one.
You know what I love though? I love the whole political aspect of this entire franchise. So I hope they do the same sort of. I like the structure of Empuraan actually because it showed you like a bit of everything. Like it went from like obviously Qureshi and then it goes into what the political state of Kerala is. So I hope they do that where they show like how he came to be, but then they also focus a lot more on the political side, which is something I thought we lost out a little bit in Empuraan. Like I liked seeing Stephen like in Kerala, like and with the political landscape and things like that.
Because if it is just going to be a flashback throughout the whole film, there's going to be a fourth one then. Like, how many are they going to end up doing now? Because they've obviously set it up for us to know that, like, Lucifer 3 is going to be the beginning of, like, Stephen and whatever. Yeah. But then that means there's going to be a fourth one. There's no way they're going to be able to finish everything off now, are they?
But I think Prithvi said it was a trilogy.
So then that means they'll... But then why is it the beginning? Unless it's a beginning of... something else.
No, it's the beginning of Stephen. I think that's what it is.
Or, well, I just thought, is it the beginning of a new political thing in Kerala?
Could
is that what the beginning of
like as with Priyadarshini? Like
or something like just a new chapter in Kerala. That's what there's a hidden meaning I think because if you were saying that Prithvi said that it's only gonna be a trilogy, that means the third one will be the last one, and there's a lot to fit in. So then maybe it will be the flashback and like a new chapter for politics.
I hope they edit it a bit better though.
Do you think? Why?
I thought there was a lot of bits that they could have gotten rid of in Empuraan, but again, did not feel like 3 hours whatsoever. There was some points where I was literally on the edge of my seat trying to like absorb everything. It had a lot of standout moments, but I feel like the editing could have been a bit better. Like, you know when spoiler. You know when I forgot the one that works for Boris is blown up.
Yeah, the girl.
Like,
Oh yeah.
There's like a whole bit where she's in hospital.
Yeah, because the guy that her friend
was
dies,
actually part of the
double
kaboom.
agent type thing.
But I feel like there was a lot of things that were a little unnecessary, and I just wish a lot of people had more dialogues, man. Like Priyadarshini, like, because she had a lot of dialogue.
She didn't need it.
Yeah.
She didn't need
she
it.
Also didn't need it.
She
You're
just stood
right.
there and it was
She
like,
also
he was just looking at the screen like dumb.
Yeah. But like a lot of characters, I feel like they brought in just for the reason that they were in Lucifer. Like, for example, like the NPTV, like, you know,
the news channel,
and stuff. She was just there.
Yeah, but she wasn't. Yeah, there was
What
not
did she?
much.
What did she bring to the movie?
The only thing at the end when she rips up the script was
that was
the thing that kind of.
So I think that's sort of going to show like. I think Kerala politics, they show it to be run by like a lot of people behind the scenes, like especially like how news media is responding to things, and I think that's very reflective of what's actually happening in India right now. But I think it's sort of trying to say like, hey, we need to break away from that. So like it was a little like lesson in there, I think.
Or I just also what they could do for the next one, instead of getting a man to contest against Priyadarshini, maybe they should get a woman, like, unless Bajrangi's got a wife or someone that we know from that's like died, maybe has a wife that wants to get into politics and as a revenge thing. Like, I think that might be better instead of doing a man versus a woman. If they do a woman just as bad as Bajrangi, or even like, or just as bad as Bobby against, I think that'd be quite a good. That'd be interesting.
I don't think it should have anything to do with Bajrangi.
No.
I feel like it needs to be someone completely different. Because I thought Bajrangi made a really good villain. Like, I think Abhimanyu Singh, is that the name of the actor? Like, I thought he did a great job. Like, you hated that guy. Right? Like
when Prithvi got his revenge, when Zaib got his revenge, you're kind of like, okay, yes.
Yeah.
He actually did.
But you know what was sad? And like Munna was pretty much maybe as bad or just a little bit less bad than Bajrangi. That was a gruesome death.
The guy that set them all up in the house.
Yeah.
As soon as you knew that like they could stay here.
Oh yeah, that was a gruesome death as well, man.
That was disgusting. They
all
died. They all died. Like, that was bad in that house.
And like just the way that he was when they found him, like right before, like,
or when
spoiler,
he was a kid,
he got blown up.
Oh,
but like Munna.
Munna.
Dude, you know how before the epic last fight scene, they go to the house where it all began.
Oh, did he have the bomb at the back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was gruesome.
Yeah, he just blew up. Yeah, that was good. But now, like, in terms of like, because I went first day, first show. I know you went like a bit, like you went the day after. But what was the like cinema like when you went? Was it just?
I was so pissed.
Why?
Because I was expecting like, usually in India, when any of these like big mass movies come out and it's just the most insane vibe, right? It's like when you're going to watch a cricket show and you get seated in like the Indian cricket like fan section. It's gonna be hype. It's gonna be like dole. There's gonna be like people whistling. So I was expecting that because like I've never had that sort of viewing experience in Australia. So I thought, oh, London's gonna have like a much bigger Malu community. No one screamed.
You went to the
I was about to learn how to whistle.
Yeah.
No one next to me. No one was doing anything. I think there was one guy in the corner screaming, and that was it.
What the hell?
I was so upset. I wanted that, like, when he comes out, like, just, people, like, streamers and whistles and, like, all of that. None of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
But you had, like, a much better viewing experience,
it was loud. Like, as soon as the L went to Mohanlal's name, well, we started screaming. The guy next to me was so loud. So it was so calm. Like, it was just screaming. Even the scene where he turns up in the second half. Yeah. Screams there. I did clap, like I said, when Zaya Prithviraj's character turned up and Manju Warrior's character. Like, I was there. Yeah. We were there clapping. Like, we were just screaming. We were just having a, like,
I should have come
blast.
with you, man.
Yeah.
But they had a fans viewing.
In Ilford. Yeah, at midnight. I didn't want to go at midnight. It's a bit... like,
I know. But the thing is, like...
It looked quite... like, there was people waiting outside. Like, it looked quite busy.
Because I think Cineworld actually never does that.
Only for like South, like they did it with Secunda recently, but there's not many a lot of Telugu films do it a day before. But
who was watching Sikandar when it released on the same day as Empuraan?
no, but Sikandar only is coming out like.
Didn't it release?
No. We only got it. So in the UK, we got it like on Saturday, right? Yesterday.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
I swear it released
coming
last
out.
week.
No, it's just out like now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because Salman Khan was like, I respect Mohanlal. Like, I can't even say anything about us clashing at the box office because, like, that guy's legendary.
No, but like Lucifer, like Empuraan's done so well at the box office. Like from what I've seen, it's the highest opening for an Indian film ever in the UK, which is mental. Like to think about all of the films that have come out previously, like from all different like regions of Indian cinema, because Malayalam cinema. Like, at the moment, I mean, it's doing a lot better, would you say now, right? Like,
yes, 100%. I think the past couple of years or so, it's
really
been just, like, insane. I've never been to I feel, and a lot of the movies that are coming out, though they are good in OTT, a lot of them are just made for theaters.
Like this one.
This one is
100%.
made. If I watched this at home,
the
the 6 out of 10 that I gave it would have been much less, but it's just the IMAX, like... Prithviraj has shot it so well. He's done such a great job, but like it's made for theaters. You need to watch certain Malu movies in theaters,
especially on the first day, first show. Like this was thank God I went. I don't know how it would have been, and maybe that's what if it. I mean, I'm not trying to justify my score here, but like it helps boost the score. You know what I mean? Like if there was no screaming and cheering, I mean. Then it might have gone down a little bit. But
like even in India, I think even yesterday, there's still more than 30,000 tickets being sold every hour for that movie.
Yeah, it's mental.
Like it's still next level. Like it hasn't. I know there's a lot of controversy around it now, but I'm not sure it's slowed down a lot of things because Kerala's like so. Just obsessed with Mohanlal as they should be.
Yeah, because they'd probably be the biggest Malayalam film ever, right? I mean, it'll probably get to that stage. And do you think it has like put Malayalam cinema on like the map a bit more?
I think Malayalam cinema's put itself on the map well before this.
Yeah,
well before this. But obviously, this adds to it.
Yeah.
Like, but I remember, like, I was reading a post. They were saying how the hype around Empuraan was only in Kerala up until like a week and a half before the movie actually released, and then they went ham with
on promotions and interviews. Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
and they like made that like a worldwide, worldwide, because it's been the biggest opener everywhere. I think the last one was probably like Pulimurgan. I think was the last one where it was like opening this big. All the other ones have been like slow, but Manju Boys has been like slow.
But that just grew right to another level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like and I think they have promoted it well. So maybe that's what helps. Like giving the interviews, and doing all of that. I think it really helped that film.
Yeah.
Because obviously the first one came out in 2001, so I think people have had time within 6 years.
2001.
No, 2019.
2019. Yeah.
2019. Yeah, sorry. So they've had enough time, and I mean, COVID probably helped it as well. Like they had enough time to actually go and watch the first one.
No, but even the theater experience for the first one, like I think the theater experience that I had watching the first one was a bit more than the second one. But obviously, the first one didn't have that sort of like a mass entry for Mohanlal. Like it was just very like, it was just him, just simply existing. He was in the church. This one was obviously you got your helicopters, you got your shades, you got like
the group of
the
men
bodyguards,
coming together,
like everyone.
Yeah,
made it seem so cool.
Because there's also another reference we actually haven't mentioned at all yet. The car. The car. Oh my god, we're just talking about this now. Like when Priyadashini, they bring a nice Rolls Royce or whatever, and she's like, I don't want to sit in that car. I want to sit in that car. And then as soon as you knew Stephen was coming back, that car was like, she was like.
As soon as I don't know who the character he played. As soon as Sai Kumar was like, no, was it Sai Kumar or Baiju? One of them was like, listing out the 3 things that she's gonna do to stand out from Japin.
Oh yes.
And one of them was like she's gonna trade in her luxury cars and she's gonna come in something completely different. As soon as he said that, I was telling my husband, I was like, the 666, it's gonna be the ambassador. It's gonna be the ambassador. And then that's what she pulls up in. It was so cool.
And then the last thing was that she was gonna get a people's reaction from here, and then.
And that was
crazy. I guess that's what shows in the film how big of an influence Stephen had on everyone as well in the film itself, because at first she hated them, but now they've become like really tight, and I think she trusts him a lot because she knows that if she's in trouble, he will get the job done.
You know, he was like in the after obviously the jungle scene, it seemed like she was in like a trance. It seemed like she had just
felt calm, right?
Felt calm. She'd let go, and she was like, you know what? Someone's taking care of it. Like, she was simply like a vessel sort of thing for whatever like had to happen. And you could see like that's kudos to Manju Warrier, because like the way that there's like a switch when she knows she's got Stephen with her, like there's a switch in how like in her demeanor and how she acts and everything.
Because the police come and then she just says everything's okay. And then you see that aura basically take shape after that.
So true.
When she puts the like the cloth on and stuff, that's when it's like oh damn. Like,
but also like you can in terms of like the influence of Stephen, you can see he was a character in the first movie. I don't know what his name was, but he was sort of like Stephen's right hand man in Nirumali. He was like the guy with the beard,
the short guy with the beard. He was here as well.
He was in this one, but you could really see like when he obviously wasn't there, he was standing near the car and he was like when's he coming back? When's he coming back? And the second like all of that like shit show happened at the Nirumali Dam like meeting, and he took Priyadarshini, and as the second when he saw the laser as well, he was like, okay, we're good. Like,
and I think as soon as everyone saw that red dot in the cinema, we were like, that's it, guys.
It's done, we're safe.
Yeah, like, but honestly, like I actually loved the film so much. Like, it was a good film.